Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. That's what you say. It seems so strange making these videos, but some people ask me why I make these videos, and actually, like I said in my first video, it's just sort of get things off my chest. It's sort of it's a bit it's therapeutic, fighting depression and this kind of stuff, and thinking things through. And anyway, today I received a message from legacy.com reminding me that May the 11th is the 7-year anniversary of the passing of my sister Melissa. Those of you who are from our hometown or who grew up with us would definitely remember my sister. She was hard as woodpecker lips, but at the same time she was just a beautiful lover of life, crazy young lady who sadly got on the wrong road in life. She had a lot of anger issues and a lot of issues with jealousy and this kind of stuff. And on top of that, she had some serious issues with drugs. And in the end, that's what took her life, an overdose. She's just only a few years younger than me. I think we're 2 years different. She'd been 49 years old this past January the 11th, which is what her birthday would have been. And I think she'd been 49. It doesn't seem right though. I think she'd have been, yeah, she'd been 49. Yeah. Anyway, or maybe 50. My math is really bad. But I think she's been 50 years old this January, if my calculations are correct. But her name is Melissa Renee Heal, which she was married to Kevin Heal. And she had 3 children, one from a previous relationship, his name Mason, and then her son Cody and her daughter Megan. And she has 2 grandchildren. Mason has a little girl, and her daughter has a little girl also. She growing up with her was sometimes fantastic and sometimes just crazy. I remember she and I used to always bang heads about things. She was that middle child, because we have a younger brother, and from our original 3, from my dad, my mom, Linda, and she always seems to butt heads, and as a middle child, she was always looking for her place, I guess, and I think a lot of middle children suffer from this. I don't think it's the fault of anybody. I just think it sort of happens. The first one's born, the parents go crazy. The second born, well, they're sort of used to it, and they go a little bit crazy. But when the third one's born, they sort of forget about the first 2, and the first one sort of got their place. The second one is uneasy about all that, But yeah, she was. I loved her so much. And I miss her. I don't miss her antics. But I do miss the life she had. She had a wonderful life if she just would have just taken a different route, just stepped off the trail she was on and taken a different route. I mean, but also she was so hard-headed. You could tell her 2 + 2 = 4. You can prove it to her, everything, and she'd still come up with her own answer. That's just how she was, and she'd fight you about it too. Oh God, she was tough. I remember growing up, when we were growing up, I mean, she just was always into something. I remember one time she had this BB gun, and she had this yellow box full of BBs, and it was a Daisy, a pump lever handle BB, and I was pretty good at it with it, using it actually from the maximum distance I could use with it. It was probably maybe, I would say 25 yards, 30 yards, something like that. But she just out of spite would do stuff, and she hid my box of BBs, or something like that. And I remember I was out and about, and she came outside and she looked at me. She said, "Hey, Mike," and she had the box and she just threw it into the forest, and I lost all my BBs from it. I never found all those BBs again because it's scattered out a million places. And I remember shooting her in the butt with that BB gun from a good distance. And lo and behold, of course, I lost my BB gun after that. But I just, she just did everything she could to be the center of attention, to cause trouble. But I remember one time my mom Linda didn't play, and neither did my stepmom. But my mom Linda didn't play when it came to dishing out. I mean, she didn't like scolding us. She didn't like getting on to us. But I remember she'd had enough of with us, and my sister and my brother were actually my sister and my little brother were. What she used to do is like, okay, get in the bathtub. We were little. And that's when she took care of business. She'd spank you in the bathtub because you were naked and you couldn't run from her. And I remember she yelled at me, go get a switch. And I came back with this huge branch. And then my mom saw it and started laughing so hard. She just basically, she didn't carry out the punishment, which was good. But yeah, my sister, she was tough. In high school, she caused trouble in high school nonstop. Her best friend, who sadly also passed away, was a beautiful young lady, a beautiful woman named Alyssa Nugent, and they were just best friends. And Alyssa used to come over and stay the night at our house, and she'd go stay the night at their house, and they were just two peas in a pod, But I remember they both played softball for the Georgetown High School softball team, which, by the way, just won their current team, just won runner-up in the state championship. And I want to congratulate them. But my sister played for the team. She was a catcher. And I also was a catcher playing baseball, and so it sort of ran in the family. But somebody passing by my window. It's the gardener, excuse me. Not my gardener, the gardener of the building. But she played really well, and she was a really hard hitter, but she hurt herself in so many ways because she had to be the center, and she would cause trouble nonstop. That girl would, I swear to God. Yeah, she was tough though. I remember she used to always cause trouble in the family. Always, if there was something that was going on, it was her. And then she would like scream and yell, and just because it was always her fault. I'm telling you all this not to belittle my sister. I loved her, just like I love my brother Kevin, my brother Ken, my brother Mark, my brother Paul, and my sister Kayla. I love all of them, and I wish we were closer. I wish we were closer living together because I love being around them, especially my brother Kevin. But yeah, I love my brothers and my sister, and we're although we're not all blood anymore, we're still brothers and sisters. And I tell you right now, it will. Bad things will happen if you touch one of us. And my mom, Judy, also. But, yeah, Melissa, she walked her own route, she took her own route, and sadly in the end, it caused so many problems for her. And she had so many chances. I remember my wife and I, at the time, I was stationed in North Carolina at Fort Bragg, and she had Mason, and she was a single mom, and we offered her to come and live with us. And I was hoping that she'd come live with us. My wife who wasn't allowed to work because of her work permit, she's a German citizen, she could take care of her son Mason, and then Melissa could get a job and maybe meet somebody nice, because although not every guy in the Army is nice, she was worthy of meeting somebody really nice to treat her nice, and that's all she needed in the world. But the thing is that the more what we found out is the more nice the guy treated her, the more she just had so much more disdain for him, And but she had her mind set on her husband, guy she married, Kevin, and the both of them together, they went, in a direction that, that we as a family, my father, he suffered because of my sister. He did everything he could along with my mom to try to help her. And she just refused, She refused to go down that direction. The reason why I'm telling you that story, because maybe you have a daughter or a son or a husband or a wife or a loved one or a sister who's also on the same tragic route, And, you know, the thing about her is that she got on this route, and no matter what you did, her goal wasn't, she'd be nice to you so she can get something from you so she could buy drugs. And that's what she did. You know, for her, she had to feed her addiction. And her addiction was toxic. Toxic to her and everybody around her. And her legacy to this very day, sadly, is that, you know. I try to teach my kids that your legacy that you leave on this earth needs to be a positive thing, a positive force that people look at, and even if they barely knew you, say, well, you know, he was a nice person, you know, he was nice to me. And although it doesn't really matter what other people think about you, the thing is that you at least want to be a nice person, you know, because nice breeds nice, you know, and you'd be surprised at how it does breed nice. But anyway, sadly, this coming May the 11th will be the 7th year anniversary of her passing on. And yeah, I think about her often. I don't miss her antics, but I definitely miss her. And I wish she could have, you know, gotten to see all her grandkids and see her kids grow up and maybe had a different life. The sad thing about all of this is that she's passed this on to her own kids. Not all of them, but a couple of them. And that's sad, because they're running the same route that she has, which is a destructive route, not just for everybody around you, but for themselves. And it's sad to see that, you know. It's really sad to see that. I hope that this little story can help you, enlighten you. The one thing I can tell you is that you can't fix this yourself. That person has to want to fix this themselves, and if they can't, you can't do anything about it. You know, I've had my best friend Jimmy, who was on this same kind of route, and in the end it killed him, and my sister also, and in the end it killed her. And these are things that the individual has to find in themselves. It all goes back to, you can't expect someone to like you or love you if you don't like and love yourself. And these are people who are seeking this outside of themselves, with drugs, with alcohol, with whatever, you know. And it's important that they themselves try to find within themselves the strength to put this stuff away, to stop doing this, become their better selves, and stop hurting the people around them. You know, if you're so destructive, you're hurting the people around you, you maybe need to move on and do something else in life. Maybe move away for a while. Try to find yourself. Try to find some peace. And then when you think you can come back, try to contact and come back, you know. But there's so many people who were hurt from all this, you know. And my parents did so much to try to help her. And she just did everything she could. She was on such a self-destructive pattern and path that they could do nothing about it. And my dad felt guilty. He felt guilty to the day he passed away, you know, which he passed away 5 years ago. So it hurts to see that, to have seen that. It hurts to see that and to know that. But, you know, we can only do what we can do. That's why it's important to master your inner self, your square meter, who you are, and try to make the best of your life that you've been given by God Almighty, okay, or whomever you believe gave it to you. Because wasting your life away, you know, doing these kind of things, these destructive patterns, these destructive things, you don't only hurt yourself. It's like suicide. You take that path, you're not only going to hurt yourself, you hurt all those who love you and who are friends with you and who know you. And who knows, we don't know why we're here. But we should seek every day trying to find out. And in doing so, be a kind person, a nice person, respect other people. You know, I believe in kindness and respect for others and ourselves, and try not to hurt people. You know, people seem to go out of their way to be unkind to people, to hurt people, to show them up, to put them in their place. It's just not. Why would you want to do that to yourself? Why would you want to live a life like that? You're living a life of anger and jealousy and all this kind of stuff. You know, it's like the word. It's like being jealous. You know, I heard something that was really interesting that that I thought was very, very good. You know, and it made me think a whole lot. And that is, when you're jealous, the person you're jealous over, they don't know. They don't realize that. It's only you who realizes that. And this could be about anything. You know, you're jealous of your neighbors because they got a better yard or a nicer house, or nicer clothes, or nicer whatever. Or you're jealous of a loved one for something you don't even know about. Or you're jealous in general. But anyway, getting back to what I'm talking about here. My sister, she had so much potential, and she was wild and crazy, and funny, also very, very funny. But she was, you know, she didn't give a crap, you know. No, we say in the Army, no, yeah. Yeah, she didn't give a crap what people thought. But at the same time, there was something there that bothered her. And she had a big heart, you know. But she just, you know, she didn't know what to do with it. That's the problem, you know. And she had so much she could have done, you know. She wasn't this, you know, she wasn't a genius, but she was smart. She just would have put a little bit more into it and not been so contrary and so facetious and angry. She was angry, you know. The anger balled up from a long, you know, even with our real mother, you know, whom I've spoken to about this, you know. Melissa just, you know, she wanted, you know, it's like that guy who rents you an apartment, and this is what I'm facing right now. They want to rent you the apartment, but you never move into it. They just want you to pay every month, you know, and pass by every once in a while and clean it, you know, even though you're not living there. And that's what they want, because they just want the money. They don't really care about you. And that's what I saw. So anyway, however that works out. I'm getting off the subject again. Listen, I want to thank you for listening to my little story. And like I said, if some of you, if this has sort of helped some of you, then I'm happy. Because the last thing I want to see is a situation that turns into what happened to my sister and my friend Jimmy. And people deserve to treat themselves better, you know, and to do better things themselves. But it's up to you. As an individual, you have to find this route yourself. We all have to, you know. And we have to try to live our lives to the best we can live it, you know. Enjoy each day, yeah, sure, but don't hurt anybody else while you're enjoying it, you know. Don't take advantage of other people. And make yourself happy before you can ever expect anybody else to make you happy. Anyway, thumbs up if you like this video. Please leave comments. I'm looking forward to reading comments. I don't get enough of them. I like the feedback, and I like interacting with people, and I hope that all of you guys have a good day, and yeah, like and share. Anyway, take care of yourselves, and you guys have a good weekend. I'm wearing my lumberjack shirt. Funny story behind it is I was in Budapest when I took this shirt. I had the shirt taken, and I was in the shop. The guy actually put a little hat on me and a shirt like that on me, put an axe over my shoulder because of my white beard, and took a picture of me doing the same thing. Anyway, you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you again. Bye.